Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So nice of you all to join me here. I hope you can hear me good. I was going to come on camera this morning, and trust me, I was. But then my mom called me, and she got to talking, and I didn't even have time to get myself together. Oh, my good sis is already here. Hey, Nola. If you guys are not subscribed to her, please go subscribe to her channel. That is another reason too why I'm not on camera, because I was up so late. We were having such a good time last night talking about all the mess down at Love and Marriage Huntsville. You know those Love and Marriage Huntsville folks. It can be a lot with them. So I was up late on her channel, kikiing about that. So make sure you go check her out and tell her I sent you. But nonetheless, we are here this morning to get into this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, honey. And this episode was called A Rum Punch to the Gut, and that is definitely what it was. And we're going to talk a little bit about who served up that punch to the gut. I'm pretty sure if you've seen the episode, or if just going off of memory, you could probably guess who it was. You know, it's always the same person. But nonetheless, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, of course. And we're going to get into it. If I can pull up. Cool. I'll give you guys a little visual. But yeah, overall, this episode, it wasn't bad, but you know, there's actually two people, I should say. Two people this season that are really, really getting under my skin. And let's just say their names rhyme with Tarlo and Panya. So maybe you guys can fill in the blanks with that. But let's just say two people in particular are really pissing me off. But, you know, we still got a whole half a season left. So I don't know. Maybe they'll redeem themselves, but I highly doubt it, especially one of them. But anyway, nonetheless, this episode began with, you know, everyone's getting ready for this Jamaica trip and whatnot. We got Drew over there FaceTiming Kenya while she's getting herself together. And they, of course, got to talk about and reflect on Sonya's tired ass party. We know that the decor, the food, the lack of proper planning, child, like it was all just like I sum it up to be like, you know, like how there's the PPP loan. This was like the PPP party, the piss poor party. That's what it should have been called, because nothing was giving. Not the party city dollar store decor, not the food that was going to, you know, take you out because you couldn't even get it all the way down your throat good. It was not a good look, and Sonya should have knew better. You know, she should have knew that they was going to eat her up about that party, but whatever. Maybe she'll learn by season 2 if she comes back, but I digress. And throughout this conversation, Kenya, she does reveal that she kind of did have a +1. You know, we've seen her bring her cousin before in the past and stuff, and she was going to bring her, but she's sick. And so we already know, like, just based on how hard Sonya was going last week about you need to bring a +1, or not even just a +1, a date. You need to bring a date or whatever. Just based on how hard she was going with that whole thing, you should already know that it's going to be some mess once she catches wind of the fact that Kenya no longer has anyone that she can bring. But nevertheless, Kenya also does divulge that she'll be staying for an extra few days because her birthday's coming up. So she got some of her family members coming, and she's gonna make it, you know, a whole trip through and through. And then the next thing we had was with Sonia and Ross. They were training with their brother-in-law, who's also married to her sister. Well, obviously brother-in-law, duh. He's married to her sister, and he's also Ross's best friend from college, which I thought, was super cool. It's good that they all have, good relationships, just based off the simple fact that they're all I'm not going to say they're living on top of each other, but they're a little bit too close for comfort for me. Like, I love my sisters, I love my mom, I love everybody, obviously, in my family to death. However, I don't know if I could be having them up in my face all day, every day. Like, how big is your house? I don't think she ever said the square footage and the actual breakdown of the house. Like, it don't look small, but nonetheless, I just, if you like it, I love it though, girl. But they're just doing a little training, they're doing this whole iFit thing. Is that what it's called? Yeah, iFit or whatever. So they're trying to get in shape and everything. And then, the kids, they work out, they join them. And I thought that was so cute. Like Deuce, he was doing all these push-ups. I think what he did, like 16 push-ups or something like that. I was like, okay, Deuce, he gets it from both his parents. Okay. But afterward, Sonia just asked Ross if he's talked to any of the guys about the trip, and he's like, nah. But that, that's all good because we're gonna have some bro time, and versus y'all ladies with that drama. Like, you guys can keep that over there. And Sonia seems to think that there's not going to be any drama on this trip, but I'm like, girl, I know good and well you have seen the previous seasons. Like, I don't even care if you've only seen one season. We all know in classic The Real Housewives fashion, we all know that all of the drama happens on these trips. So for you to sit here and even big your head up to thinking that like, oh, it's just gonna be all smooth sailing, it ain't gonna be no drama, we all gonna get along. Like, for you to even get that in your head, you're a fool, because that has never happened in the history of this franchise, or quite frankly any of them. It's gonna be something. So, girl, bye. This next scene, really, there's just so much to unpack with it, as far as, Ralph writing this step-parent book, and, Drew not knowing SHIT about it. I'm not you said, nah, that was a lot. Exactly. Like, just playing, they be playing in our faces. They be playing in our faces about all this. So, I just take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, Ralph and Drew with this whole book, I don't even know where to start with that, because it kind of gets kicked off when she says, I think it'll be a good thing if you talk about, the book amongst the group. And then they have this whole, step-parent conversation where Ralph originally said that he was going to adopt Josiah, which is her son from a previous relationship. We kind of seen that whole thing play out last season, where his dad, who had been previously incarcerated for however long, came by and, tried to make it seem like he was going to be a part of the boy's life. And apparently he's been gone with the wind ever since. Apparently he's still not playing an active role in the boy's life. So as of now, all Josiah knows is Ralph to be his, dad. So all of a sudden, Ralph just got it in his head. He don't need to write no book. And that's what this whole conversation was giving me. It's like, at the end of the day, if you first you say you're going to adopt him, and then now you turn around and you're like, oh no, I'm not going to adopt him. because I spoke to his biological dad, and basically it's some whole we have a man-to-man understanding, and I'm just not gonna step on his toes or whatever like that. Like he said he was, he wouldn't be cool with that or whatever, which to me, that's really messed up. I'm trying not to curse, which is really messed up to me because one, I'm pretty sure the Josiah knows that that's what was going to happen, and then now it's so it's like you're reneging on that. And again, he has been vocal about you being like the only dad he's ever known. So then you just pull a reverse on him with that, and then you take it a step further, and now you're trying to just write a book about step parenting when in all actuality, yes, you still are a step parent, but it's like I feel like you're navigating this situation all types of wrong because you're basing it off of this man that doesn't play an active role in this boy's life. You're basing this on a man that hasn't done anything for this child. You're basing this on a man who you don't know from a hole in the wall, and you're completely bypassing your wife to do so. So it's like you're having more respect and more regard for his feelings than you are Josiah's, Drew's, like anything like that. And I'm pretty sure last season, correct me if I'm wrong, it was said that Ralph be treating his two biological kids a little differently, or there's kind of like a distinction between the two. So it's just, I don't like it. And I would hate to have that, boy having his feelings hurt, or feeling displaced, or feeling unwanted, or whatever. And now you're trying to sell a book based off of this situation, but you're going about it all wrong, if you ask me. It's not just a piece of paper, because God forbid something happens to Drew, and then what's going to happen to him then? Yeah. And do I know all of the laws regarding adoption and stuff like that in the state of Georgia? No, I do not. However, what I do know is ethically, your loyalty should lie within y'all's household. That man gave up he gave up any ability to put his 2 cents in once he started being absent from day one. Like, you don't really have no say. If anything, you should be, happy that he has your son has someone in his life that is willing to love him wholeheartedly and all that stuff. And no, I wouldn't even feel right knowing I ain't did a damn thing for my child, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to, it's gonna bruise my ego, or let's not throw the legacy word out there. It's some BS for me, and I don't like it. And I'm glad Drew did say, like, I'm not understanding how you want me to write this forward, and I haven't even read the book. Like, and I just know there's some, knowing Ralph, I just hear like BS every time he opens his mouth. So I'm really not, like, I'm cringing actually thinking that of what could be in this book. And he didn't like that. If Ralph, he didn't like that Drew wasn't trying to write the forward for the book. And it's just like, if you know anything about literature, if you know anything about book writing, like, that the forward needs to be written kind of like with someone who's familiar with what the context of the book. And she don't know nothing about it. Like, come on now. I don't know if you peeped, but I really did like Drew's this confessional look when she had it with all the red. I wish I would have got a picture of it, but I really liked it. I was like, okay, Drew, okay. He lying in that book, I promise you. That's what I'm saying, and that's probably why he don't want her to read it off the bat. He probably wants to get it out there first, and worry about the downfall of it. Worry about the shitstorm later on. I'm like, how? Anyway. The next thing we see, Sonia and Ralph are heading out, to Jamaica, and they have coordinated individual sprinters for everybody. So everything is all good. They're on their way. Like, we about to have fun down in JA. All of a sudden, unfortunately, Ross left his passport back at the house, and I was like, oh, man. Oh gosh. I'm like, I hope he makes it back. But so he goes and catches an Uber, and he gonna catch up with them back at the airport. So Sonia picks up Marlo, and her plus one is Adrian, her florist. I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm gonna just leave that right there, and yeah. So then we see Kenya, Sheree, and Sheree's friend Michelle. They're in another sprinter, and I think then it was just Kandi and Todd. They had their own because they live closest to the airport, I guess. So they all meet up. They board the plane, of course, I guess, whatever. And luckily, Ross actually makes it. I was like, oh. Like, whew, thank God. And they touch down in Jamaica, and it of course, looks amazing. I'm like, oh my God, I want to go there so bad right now. And, so I'm immediately jealous, immediately jealous. But, Sonia also, obviously she's Jamaican through and through. So of course, pre-COVID, she was back and forth at least 4 or 5 times a year, which I'm like, that's awesome that, she's never, no one could ever say, she isn't, heavily rooted in Jamaica. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. But literally, as soon as they get into the bus or whatever to go from the airport over to the resort, why the first thing out of Sonia's mouth was to Kenya about her plus one. And Kenya, of course, she lets her know, like, yes, actually, I did, since you were going so hard about plus ones and all that. Yes, I actually did have somebody who was supposed to come. However, she got sick. It's sickly times out here. So yes, she got sick, and that's why I'm here alone. Sue me. And Sonny gonna turn her face around and say, oh, first you was sick, now your cousin was sick, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, girl, you just said pre-COVID you used to come back 4 or 5 times a year, and now you only coming back and forth. You're only coming back and forth right now, like, so you already know that times out here are like crazy. So why are you trying to get on her case about a plus one and all this nonsense, knowing damn well that, it's very likely that, yes, we saw, like, what are you, Marlo Jr.? She was sick. We heard her coughing up a lung and all that just an episode or 2 ago. And now, yes, she invited somebody else and who she's brought around the group before, and you're still trying to come at her. Like, are you trying to orchestrate some type of like orgy or something? Because I'm confused as to why you were just going so hard. At the end of the day, I wouldn't care. I would say, hey guys, you guys are more than welcome to bring somebody. I actually would, recommend you bring somebody in case, we do group things or whatever that you need. There's always that odd person out, when you go on things that is for like 2 people or something like that. There's always that person. If they ain't got nobody, there's always somebody that got to go alone, just like a roller coaster. But I would have left it at that and had somebody came with no guest. Then they would just been riding the ATV, the roller coaster, the parasail, whatever. They would have been doing it by themselves. Period. It is what it is. It didn't need to be all this. You need to come with a plus one. Like, what? She is on my last nerve. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't, like I said before, people that names rhyme with Tarlo and Panya, they don't need to come back. Like, I'm good on that. So, like I was saying, shout outs to Kandi though, because she was definitely my favorite person this episode. Her and Kenya are pretty neck and neck, but yeah, I think Kandi definitely brought it all the way home for me this episode. And she throws some subtle shade in her confessional saying, of course Marlo don't want to, show her sponsors, honey. Like, of course she's going to bring her florist. And I mean, to a degree, like, yes, it was funny. I understood why she said it. It was very in line with who Marlo, presents herself to be. However, I can also kind of say, I do understand at the same time, like, if somebody, chooses to live their life like that, like, it kind of does make sense that they wouldn't want to show that person who's financing who is financing everything for them, because one is probably just a transactional relationship where maybe you don't want that to cross into your personal life. Maybe it's I tell this person all they need to know and that's it, and leave it at that. I don't mix business with pleasure type thing. And then also just to, like, no, I'm not about to tell everybody who's funding my life, like, nah. So you could try to get in here, like, I get it. And again, that's not me justifying I giving an excuse for Marlo at all. I'm just saying, if it was somebody else, I'm sure those would be in line with their own personal reasonings. That's all I'm saying about that. But the resort, it looks really nice. It really does. I wrote it down. Ocean Eden Bay. Yeah, okay. That's on my I don't know what part of Jamaica that was, but that's on my list of places. When I go there, we need to look into that. Maybe I don't know. Or Nola, maybe you probably know some good places there too, maybe. With your being a travel agent and all. But they had the drinks on today, and Todd, he said in the beginning that he's kind of going through like a cleanse right now, and it's not for no particular reason. And this definitely resonated with me because I'm not a big drinker. Like, I don't really drink like that. So whenever anyone is like, oh my God, why aren't you drinking? Oh my God, da, 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 da. I never understand why people be all like weird and down your neck once you tell them you don't drink or you don't want to drink or something like that. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, if you're in a moment, like, oh, come on, da, da, da. But like, I like how everyone kind of just respected that and just left it at that. And, it's a personal decision. Yes, ma'am, I want to go there next summer to the Secret Resorts. Okay, let me know, because I'm coming. I'm coming. My passport is ready. But yeah. So he's not drinking or whatever, which was really funny. He says that he used to drink, like 3 or 4 times a week, but yeah, he's just going, doing a little detox right now, and then once he's done detoxing, he's gonna be back throwing back the shots, and that's just what it is. So everyone piles into the golf carts and they head over to their rooms, but before they can even make it to the rooms, tell me why Kenya and Sonia, I don't know, who was it Kenya or Sonia first? Yes, girls trip. I'm serious. Like, you let me know who I need to send my deposit, what I need to send, and I'm there. I'm totally there. It would be so fun. Oh my God, it would be so fun. We got to plan this. But yeah. What was I saying? What's my train of thought? Now I'm thinking about girls trips. Nah. I don't know if it was Kenya or Sonia that spotted this guy first, but they spot a little something and they busted Yui real quick. And they're like, hey, I will say, I will give Sonia props. She does seem like she could be a good wing woman. I will give her that. Side note, sorry. I hate to be all like, oh, I hate to put any paint anybody's image out there or anything like that. But it has been, brought up, not even by just me or anything like that. It's been brought up this season, Sonia, she gives off, very friendly vibes sometimes to the other ladies or whatever, Again, this is just speculation. I'm not trying to say anything for certain or anything like that. Like, I know firsthand. No, not at all. But it's just been said that she gives off that type of energy. So when which I thought was cool, it's Kenya's birthday's coming up and all that, she she had them like adorn the room with like rose petals and stuff like that, which is very nice. And I'm just like, why didn't you just like put some champagne up in there with like some balloons and stuff like that and whatever? I was just like, roses, they seem a little romantic. But again, maybe I'm putting 20 on 10. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but just like, okay, Sonia, okay. Okay. But yeah, she's a very good wing woman. And she's like, okay, so my girl right here, like, you trying to hang out with her during this trip or not? Like, and this gentleman, he was down, and they exchanged numbers, have been Kenya, and I was like, okay, so I guess Kenya has a +1 after all. I wasn't mad at it. And throughout this whole episode, they were making notes or odes to, how Stella got her groove back. They were kind of comparing Kenya to her because Kenya said, listen, honey, I am back on the market. And when I tell you we love to see it, we love to see it. And that's because we've just seen throughout the years and years and years, and they actually show like a little snippet once. I will correct you on this though, Kenya. I will correct you and say, no, girl, you don't really have like the best track record when it comes to this, because she said something along the lines of later, like, yeah, I have a good way of picking them or something or whatever. And Bravo always got to put that ass on blast, and it's like, no, actually, historically, your track record says otherwise, Miss Ma'am. And I don't remember I don't even remember all these men's names, but of course they show the most major relationship she's had throughout this her time on this franchise. So no, actually, I'm gonna have to correct you there. You don't always pick them very well, but maybe I'm not saying it's about to be her husband, her new husband, or anything like that, or you need to even take it. He said she a pitiful pick me. Yeah, Sonia. Yeah, I know. I'm not here for it. I can't wait. I think I'm it's probably, I wonder if it's too late. I've been wanting to write into like the reunions or whatever. How Andy be reading people's cards or whatever, so to speak. I want to write in and ask her, like, why are you such a pick me? Why are you such a pick me from Johnny's from, well, let's say Johnny's from Johnny's or Barb from, I guess, California at that point, but whatever. Anyway, but yeah, I'm just like, Kenya, you don't always have the best track record, but hopefully, cool. Like, Stella will get her groove back in Jamaica real quick, and you guys will have a little fun while you're there. Maybe get your backbone out real good, real quick, and it'll just be that, right? Okay. But anyway, so they finally, mind you, this whole time everybody stopped waiting for them. So Kandi's always hungry, and she's like, I am getting hungry, and I need y'all to hurry up, please. So they go inside, and again, this resort is very beautiful. I will give Sonia her props on this part. She had the food all ready to go. She had everyone's rooms, like, apparently they were all very nice. Everyone's satisfied with the accommodation, so I will give her that much. But again, they're in Jamaica, so did you really even have to try that hard? Probably not, it was a given that they was probably going to stay somewhere nice. So I don't know. You're still not off my list yet. Like, you're still not off my list yet. So they all sit around, they eating, everything's cool, and Sonia she basically just tells them their itinerary, and nothing really major happened throughout this scene, except for her trying to say, oh, it pays to be nice to the host. And of course, all of our minds quickly turn to, oh shit, well, Drew probably has a shoebox room, because her and Sonia have been going at it all season. But turns out, no, Drew probably got a really nice room. the camera actually pans over Drew's room, and it looked decent or whatever. But I did kind of want to see everybody else's rooms in comparison, because imagine, like, yeah, she has that nice room, but imagine everybody else has all marble floors and soaker tubs in the middle of the room and all types of stuff. So she might have still pulled one on her and just gave her the most basic room, but it was still up to my standards, at least. So good for them, but it's still by Sonya at the end of the day. And I don't know if I said before, but Kenya and John, they were already texting. We like that type of energy, of course. My girl Kenya, she deserves all that and then some. At this point, she's been through it these last couple years, and I'm glad to see any good things that are coming to her. Now that she's lifted that dead weight mark out of her life, I'm totally here for it. Her energy throughout this entire season has been just great. I'm loving the carefree, light-hearted Kenya. I really, really like it. And this is coming from someone who's never really even like looked at her in that light in the past. Like, I was never like, I hate her, but she's always been like portrayed as a villain on this show. So it's really good to see her not in a different light. She's a really likable person, and obviously she's very stunning. That's why she lets it be known. She was like, later on in the episode, she's like, yeah, I keep them 30 to 60. Anything in between is good. Because she looks damn good for her age. She looks damn good, just period. Not even just an age thing. She's beautiful. So I'm glad that it's working out for her. But then we get to this dinner, and this is kind of the dinner on night one. This is kind of when hell kind of breaks loose. So everyone's getting gussied up and everything. And like I said, John, he was hitting Kenya up instantly. He actually stops by her room, brings a Red Bull, which I was kind of like, okay, and again, maybe I'm being extra. I was just like, oh, you popping up at rooms already? Oh, wow. Yeah, she is definitely growing on me this season. Yes, I mean, like, I want to continue to see this. She's growing on me while other people are just, their names are getting more and more ingrained on my list. For real. Her and, Kandi. I know I've told you before that I've never been a big Kandi fan, but this season I'm really loving both Kandi and Kenya. Like, they're definitely the front runners for me this season, most definitely. But at this dinner, y'all, John, he comes back in his room, gives a Red Bull. He's like, wow. He comes in, he's like, wow, you look beautiful. And I was just like, exactly. Like, there's no denying that. Like, that's a face card that's never going to decline. Like, you can't hate on that. And she says, he seems like a very nice guy. And this is when Bravo rolled the whole clip back when she tries to say, I'm good at picking him or whatever. I'm just like, okay, whatever. But John, yeah, he is in fact going to be joining them for dinner, and we already know that they're probably going to try to grill him, which I think is corny, but I already knew that was going to come, so it's whatever. And everyone arrives. Everyone arrives. They come in. Everything's good, and of course, everyone's neck breaks when they see Kenya roll up with John, and everybody's like, "Okay, yes, girl. Like, okay, we see you." And everybody says that for the most part, except for hater ass Marlo. Like, she, Harpo, who this man? Like, shut up. Like, always got something to say. Like, worry about you and your florist. Like, worry about your next floral arrangement. Like, worry about why Les Archive is spelled wrong. Worry about being there for your nephews. Like, don't worry about what she got going on. Just always gotta say something. Like, Like I said before, they immediately come in for the kill. We find out that John is 37, and he looks good for his age too, which is all good. I don't know if I said it before, but he's from England. He's currently there with his brother or whatever on vacation. So I'm like, okay, cute, cute, cute. And everything is all good until Ralph brings up the book. Which actually no, before that, Sonia actually asked about the boys. She asked Marlo about the boys, and she's basically like, not right now or whatever. She probably don't want, everybody to know that she is an ain't shit ass Monty. So yeah, she don't want to talk about that right then and there. And then that's when Sheree asked Ralph about the book. And Ralph, there's the way that he even started saying it was just weird AF to me. Like, he's like, Josiah, our son, or he's not what did he say? He's not my biological son, but I regard him as such, or something like that. It's a book about step parenting, and like she just came in from the beginning, and I was just like, okay, like just shut up, just don't publish this. Like, this is not going to be good. And he's like, I was going to adopt him, but now I'm not, because it did. And Marlo, she, like, out of everybody at that table, thought it was okay to start kind of, starting this line of questioning, like, oh, why, basically she was so triggered because, she's a foster child and da-da-da-da-da. And it's just like, it felt very displaced, because at the end of the day, how can you speak on anybody else's situation as in regards to parenting when you, Miss Ma'am, when you just showed your complete ass to be as messed up as you want to be these last couple episodes, when you kicked those boys out your house and told them to get the F out. Like, so how dare you? I understand that how Ralph is kind of navigating through this situation is less than desirable, like, from the outside looking in. However, you have not one leg to stand on when it comes to giving your 2 cents about parenting. You have no leg to stand on when it comes to how anybody should be raising anybody, or running their household, or anything like that. So it's just like, for you to be the first one to pipe up and say something and pass judgment, I'm glad Kandi checked your ass on that. And I know a lot of people were thinking it too, because everybody was like making faces kind of like, what? And it's just like, she said something along the lines of, how are you going to adopt me and then you're not, and it's hitting too close to home, and da 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 da. And it's just like, everything hits too close to home with you. Everything is something with you, but you don't ever think about what you say out of your mouth as it pertains to other people. And again, I'm glad this is when Kandi said something. Like, she's like, how you going so hard given your situation, Miss Ma'am? How you going so hard when you told those boys to get the F out of your condo? Like, how? And Marlo, her head might as well have done the exorcist twist. And she's like, your situation might be different from this situation, and that might be weird to you because this situation is different from that, and da 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 da. Just like your situation is weird because your mother comes before your man. And this is when it's like, oh damn, here we go, right? The audacity of Marlo. It's the audacity for me. And she just came right in, dropped it low and spread it wide when it comes to someone who you regarded as a friend, or that you cared about so much, or da 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 da. Now all of a sudden you're coming left field with the low blows, and it's like, when she says stuff, it's not just like, oh, fix your wig, or oh, that's why you're being mean. It's not about anybody's like actions in that moment or anything like that. The stuff that she says is stuff that I always am a firm believer that if anybody says, there's certain stuff that if people say that, that's what they've always been thinking. That's what they've always thought deep down inside about you. Like she's, and I don't remember who said it, but I was watching somebody, I think it was Erica De Niro, shout outs to her. I think I was watching her video and she said something along the lines of like previously, like Marlo's not, you know, she can't be a friend. She's incapable of being a friend. She's not even a friend of me. She's just a straight up enemy that likes to just hang around. And I'm just like, that just completely hit the nail on the head for me. Because again, if these are people that at any point, like, and actually Nola, we kind of spoke about this a little bit yesterday, where it's like, you know, if people, regardless of the fact, if you fall out with somebody, like you shouldn't really like you fall out with somebody, like it says a lot sometimes, like if you fall out with somebody and they're so quick to say this or so quick to say that, and you see that a lot with these reality stars, as we were saying, like you see that a lot where it's like it, you talk about this type of stuff, but then or these things happen and then you turn around and you're just like, wait, but you just came out of left field with that. So that it just literally catches you off guard. It's like, okay, this is clearly something you've been thinking. Like you don't just like no one just comes out the woodwork with these low ass blows that Marlo be coming out of left field with. Like it's just so weird to me. And she's all like, you know, why would you bring up something that's killing me? You know, kids are off limits. And that's when I was just like, oh, when I tell you I hollered in here, I was screaming because I'm just like, there's no way on God's green earth that you can sit here and say kids are off limits or anything's off limits when you've taken it there time and time and time and time again. And I wish Bravo would have rolled the clip on that when you said things about people's parents, you said things about people's pregnancies, you said things about everything, so nothing's ever off limits when it comes to you, but other people shouldn't go there with you in turn. Like make it make sense, because it's not right now. And then she even says, you know, you take care of a man, and Kenny's like, I don't take care of no man. Like Todd had his own thing going since the get-go, and that's why I hate when people come out of nowhere and are always trying to like discredit Todd and stuff like that, when it's just like, you do know he was doing his stuff with the production team on the show like from day one, and that's how Kandi and them and Todd met. And Bravo played the clip, you know, on how, you know, this saga of Todd and Kandi and how they got to this point, you know, from their first dates and everything when they was down in Africa. Before that's how that whole thing started. And it's just like, and I'm glad like Todd respectfully checked her on that, where he was like, listen girl, like you had to buy your way into this friendship circle. Don't think I forgot, you know, miss, let me throw money up in the air and stuff like that. And she's all like, oh no, like I came here with Marlo, or I came here with Phaedra or whatever. Like, no. Like, we know damn well that you was on some weirdo shit, like trying to, you know, get in where you could fit in. No one's stupid. And for you, again, to make all these low blows, it's just like, were you ever really a friend in the first place? Were you ever really someone who can be, you know, a true friend? And at the end of the day, you've shown your hand more and more times than enough where it's like, no, you can't. You're incapable of doing that, because when you know who was it? It's like, yeah, you drop it low, I'm going to hell or whatever the fuck. Like it's literally every single time. She calls Kandi a provider, and this is when Kenny is like, okay, you're basing this off of, or Candy's like, you know, you're basing this off of work and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I'm busy. I hate that they always come for Todd's pocket. Exactly. And it's just like Todd had his thing going on too. Like, yes, was Kandi, you know, probably more established or whatever? Yeah, of course, probably. But that don't mean that Todd was some ain't shit ass dude. Like, that don't mean that he was on some other shit. Like, you know, really, you know, whatever. And for you to bring her mom and all that stuff like that, you're talking about a situation that's killing you. That was a whole big old thing that was going on for years, for seasons. I think they just barely got into like probably a good space, like him and Mama Joyce. So it's like, why are you even bringing that up then? When you know that that was a soft spot for her for a long time. So what? What? Mm-mm. And then gonna talk about some, I love you, Todd. Duh, duh, duh. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Making up all this shit about country, her being a country lame bumpkin that, you know, he wasn't even trying to see the time of day for. Like, what? Like, what? But we really just took everybody aback for the most part, at least for me. And let me know if you guys feel the same way. When she had the audacity to say, you're only known in Atlanta. Like, and Kandi was like, bitch, I am worldwide. Like, and mind you, the whole time that this whole exchange was going on, everybody was just sitting at the table like, oh. And I think this is John, Kenya's Jamaican in Paradise Boo thing. He got up and left, and I was just like, I would have been the same way. Like, I didn't come over here for this. I'm gonna catch you later. Peace. But I was definitely Monieta's husband when like I seen him like hide his face, and I just thought that was so freaking funny. That was so freaking funny to me. But I was really like, and you know when Kandi is like pissed when her voice starts, or you know when she's truly passionate about something like that, her voice does that, you know, thing or whatever. Y'all, you know what I'm talking about. So she was like, bitch, I'm worldwide. I done not even just off the records that I've sang, but the ones I've wrote, you know, they do my songs, you know, on karaoke in Japan. Like, bitch, you tried it basically. And I was like, she did. Like, that was literally comical. And even though, again, but prior to this season, I was never like a super huge Kandi fan. When I tell you that her accomplishments don't go unnoticed, her accomplishments, you can't discredit those. Like, the proof is in the pudding when it comes to Miss Kandi Burruss, like Tucker. Like, no, you can't do that. So, and you know, Sheree also pissed me off in this scene. I don't know if you peeped, but Sheree, Kandi kind of looked over to her and was like, "It's your friend, girl," whatever. And Sheree's all like, "Oh," because she always tries to play this. She always plays the wrong. She always winds up playing the wrong team at the wrong times and whatever. Like the way she'd be navigating through these circles, and every time she's on the show, she just her strategy is always wrong. It's always wrong. That's why a lot of people are like, why do they keep bringing her back? Because she just always navigates everything wrong. Her name should be Sheree, the wrong the navigator that can't navigate like anything. Like, it's just But finally, you know, Sonya says enough is enough, basically, and she's like, you know, chill out. And I was like, nah, let him keep going, because Marlo just, I'm good. She don't need to come back, y'all. She really don't, because I'm tired of her. I'm so tired of her this season. I'm so freaking tired of her. I'm so freaking tired of her. And I think I think some of you guys stand with me on that, I'm sure. But nonetheless, that was pretty much it for this episode. It was a good episode. I can't wait to see what else happens next week, you know, as they're in Jamaica. What do you think? We're gonna get like one or two more episodes of them in Jamaica, probably, maybe, you think? I can't wait to see what else unfolds about it. But y'all, like I said in the beginning, a couple of these women by that names rhyme with Tarlo and Panya are really working my nerves. Like, for real. Like, they should have stayed over there where it was at, because I'm so good. Ralph don't need to come out with their book, especially if it pertains to parenting. Isn't he like an IT guy or something like that? Write an IT book. Like, I don't know. Write something else. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm good on it. I am looking forward to Ross saying he said something. I see in the upcoming clips. He's saying something about you don't fuck with my wife or something like that. And I was like, oh, I like that type of. We like that type of energy over here. What happened? Who did it? I can't wait to see what that happened. Even though it is, in defense of Sonya, who's been pissing me off, but I don't know, y'all. And for everybody who's gonna watch the playback, let me know. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this episode, and of course my review. As always, you see all of my social media tags down at the bottom. Don't forget to subscribe to all of my social medias down below. And on your way out, please like the video. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Share the video as well. Yeah, all that good stuff. I'm gonna try to come back in a couple hours. I'm gonna get myself together and I'm gonna try to come back on screen later for Love and Hip Hop, because we had some Love and Hip Hop last night, and we got to talk about that. And then tomorrow, let me see, because my good girl Nola is in here right now. I of course have to make mention of, where is it? Oh, I don't think I have a clip for it, but I always have to make mention of, we'll be in the building tomorrow for World of Reads panel. And yeah, like I said before, we're going to be I'm going to be coming back later with Love and Hip Hop, of course. So please stay tuned for that. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications. And yeah, I'm trying to just stay consistent, y'all. So, you keep liking the videos, you keep, subscribing, all that, and I'm gonna keep making them. So I will catch you guys later. All right. And I appreciate everybody who stopped by. Nola, of course, I appreciate you. But I'll see you guys later. Bye.